Hello everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for people who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers. I literally have just turned the camera off from doing my last video, which was the large scrapbook file folder, and I've set that aside and left it to dry. And I looked at the bits and pieces I had on my desk, and I remembered that I just received this tiny attacher. So I've decided to grab my little bag of scraps, and I have lots of papers to the side of me here, and I thought I'd make some quick clusters. So don't know how this will go. I haven't used the tiny attacher before, not even once. So I did mention when I opened it from my parcel a couple of days ago, or it may have been yesterday actually, that I'm not sure how I feel about using staples in my journals, because I do have that vintage look, but I decided that I would make a couple of little clusters and just see what I think. So decided I'd turn the camera on, and I am going to ink as I go because I do like these to be inked. And I did have a cup of tea sitting next to me that I started before I turned the video on to do. I might tear those off. Before I decided to do the collage sheet, and because my fingers were so sticky, I haven't actually drunk it. So I was like, I'm just going to sit and sip on my cup of tea and play. So I decided to turn the camera on again. Again, I'm still very tired. I just hope I sleep better tonight. Okay, I'm going to pop the ink on there. Now I've decided when I do these, I'm just going to stick to 3 or 5 pieces per piece, or per item. I don't want to overcomplicate it. And I am literally just using up little pieces of scrap. Just wanted to have a couple of these clusters on hand for when I'm making other things, so that I have just a quick go-to for embellishing. I may just add a button or something to that. Here we go. Oh, it's actually a lot smaller than I thought. So if I find a little image or a button or something to pop over there, it should cover it nicely. Fabulous. So much quicker than sewing, which is what I've been doing with my clusters prior to now. And I may still do some like that. this book paper is actually quite brittle, well aged. And I'm just doing all different sizes. Get some tea stain paper for that. I find it hard to control the amount of itty bitty pieces I end up with on my desk within viewing for you guys. I watch a lot of other crafters and they're so clever at, I don't know if the right word is clever, but they're so good at cleaning up after themselves and removing any bits and pieces from their space so it's not distracting, and I just seem to end up with bits everywhere. I'm working on it for you all. I don't claim to be perfect. I'm not. And I don't know, I seem to create better when I've got bits and pieces around me. It's almost inspiring, I don't know. Oops, shouldn't have put my scissors away, you see? That's what happens to me all the time. This is actually rubber back curtain, so it's got that rubbery backing, and I picked it up at a really reasonable price from my local Spotlight, and I'm loving using it. I feel like I need a bigger piece. That didn't work for me, guys. Maybe that's the problem. I like that. I think that would be really good with a word over the top. I'm loving this stapler, it's so quick. I don't know if you're aware, but previous to having the stapler I would use the same process, but I would paper clip them and then I would take them to my machine and I would sew around them. And I do really love that sewn look. It's so good just to be playing. I just don't feel like myself when I haven't done any crafting for a while. These will be so handy to have on hand. I seem to be going with 5s right now. And I did just remember I didn't actually buy additional staples when I got my stapler. I decided I would get the stapler and try it out, see if I liked it before I purchased additional staples, and I think I'm going to have to look into that. I think I kind of like that I messed one of these up. Okay, so may have gone a bit quiet. Sorry guys. I don't even know what I was thinking about. It was really important though. It has to have been to make me leave you all. It could have just been how I really need sleep. I don't know. That moment when you realise that you have only inked around 1. Okay. I've been holding on to this cording. I don't know if I'm going to use it for something, but this piece here. So this is actually a curtain fabric, and it has the cording on the edge. And I really don't know if I want to keep it or I don't want to keep it, so I haven't been game to throw it out yet. Okay. I don't want to use the pink part of this wool because it's the wrong tone. If you have a look here, it's the wrong tone for that paper. I'm just not sure about it. Although it is a little bit more purpley than pink, I think. I'm meaning to check it against the purples in the paper pack and see what I think about that. And that doesn't need anything else. That fluffy wool is actually covered over the staple. You can barely see it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, I say. So it'll all be fluffy wool from now on. If I want to do these, I tend to make them all a similar size, and it's not intentional, it's just, I don't know whether it's because of the way I'm thinking at the time or... So my mind has now gone to fluffy wool and where I might find some scraps of fluffy wool in my stash, because I love the fact that I don't have to do anything else to that one that I just made. I can just literally pick it up and pop it onto a tag or an envelope or whatever I'm working on, and it's done. Just want to fray this piece a little bit. Pop that down there. And pretty. Fluffy wool. Fluffy. I actually bought this. I have a massive bag of it. I don't know where I've got. Oh, it's right here next to me, guys. So I have this huge big bag of this wool that I picked up at my local Spotlight store. It was in their sales bin. And I think I paid $10 for the bag, and it's really handy to have for this purpose. So I need to check my local Spotlight in future for beautiful wools like that, in case there's a little piece lurking there that I don't know about. I feel like that's just too much. It's a whole lot of fluff going on there. Oops. Well, this is a little challenging. Okay, didn't come out too bad. Again, it's probably a little bit more fluff than I wanted, but it's not sitting too bulky, so that's good. I may need to just push those staples down ever so slightly. They were just a little raised at the back. I think I have more fluff going on there than anything else on that, but maybe I need to use just a strip of that wool in future instead of the cluster that I used. Try and make something a little bit bigger. Nope, I know I haven't changed that. You weren't meant to see. Terrible. Okay. I haven't even checked the time. Oh no, 21 minutes. That's not too bad. I'm just doing my thing. Bit of cheesecloth. I've got fluff attached to my scissors. A little piece of this really does go a long way, doesn't it? Or do I want it that way? No. They're quite pretty for something that's so quick and easy to put together. Oh, do I have more of that? Oh golly, it's buried. Just looking for some scraps of my recycled paper. But they're more strips. I don't know why I've even hung on to those. Okay, mostly strips, so we'll see if we can use up a little bit of that. That little piece of fabric is pretty. That could probably work for this journal too. And I just realised that I, again, haven't even had a sip out of my cup of tea. I actually don't know why I make myself a cup of tea before I start crafting, because I seriously get caught in the moment and I forget that it's there. So let me just do that. It's a little on the colder side now. Oh well, I was having fun, it's worth it. I probably should be using a ruler to do this so I can use it for my tags. Oops. It's got such a pretty patinaed edge, this paper. Whoops. Okay. It's a little bit too straight for me now. This might be the last one I make for now. I can feel myself starting to fade ever so slightly. I think I need to get up and move around a bit and wake myself up. But in a very short time I've made myself quite a few clusters, so that's exciting. As I said, I was literally just turning the camera on to have a... Well, I had a play with these anyway, so... And you can probably see the hot mess I've got on my desk now, because I pull things out, guys. One thing leads to another, and the next minute I know I've got a hot mess going on. Now, some of these papers are very thick and some are not so thick, so they are difficult to tear when they're tiny pieces like this, because the fibres are all intertwined. It's when you notice that it's handmade and not store-bought. It's definitely thicker. Should I go that way? And I want a piece of lace. I've got some bigger pieces here, but I don't really want to cut them. Oh, actually, I do have this piece that I cut off something else. Quite like that. Okay, so we've made ourselves a few little clusters. Thank you for helping me along the way. I will lay them all down so that you can see what we've managed to do in just a short time. When I clear my space off so you can actually see. Sorry guys, it's a creative mess, okay? Goodness me. Okay. And little fibres. So I'll just pushing the mess out of the way. Next minute they'll fall on the floor. They're actually really pretty. And they're all quite different. Looks like we've made 7 in just a short time. Let's see if I can... I don't actually have a zoom on this camera I'm using, but I am loving my new camera stand. So that's what we've managed to do in roughly 30 minutes. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Happy crafting, everybody. Bye. Bye for